and welcome to a quick bonus video. I thought I'd show you some of the things I picked up on my latest trip to the op shop or the thrift store. There's no reason for me, I'm not doing a studio vlog this month, so I thought I'd just give a couple of little random not freebies, you know what I mean. A few quick videos. I thought about the Studio Ghibli book flip, which is coming also. But we went to the op shop on the weekend and I picked up a few bits and bobs, so I thought I'd just let you know what I grabbed. I've got a whole pad. Oh look, I didn't even notice. Someone had sketched something on there. Maybe I should paint that. Oh, that'd be cool. A whole pad of Fabriano watercolor paper. This cost me $4. Which may seem expensive to the US girls, but this stuff is like $30 in Eckerschillies. So it cost me $4. And oh, I didn't draw this, but I may very well paint it for a video. I didn't even see this when I opened it up. But yeah, $4. I thought, why not grab it? Because I use it on a daily basis. I use it for collage sheets. I use it for calendar images. And it's a heck of a lot cheaper for me to do it this way. Oh, that's super interesting. I didn't even realize there was a face on there. I also picked up this crazy little letter paper. This was $2. It has been used. There are pages that have been used, but this little quirky creature made me laugh. So I thought I'd grab it because I've been trying to write more letters to you guys over the time, and I just thought there were such cute little designs. It's not a character I've ever seen before, and I think there's only one or two, like this has been cut, so whatever was on the bottom. I think there's been barely any used in this little letter set, but I thought what a cute little idea. And I'm always looking for cute little papers, and for $2, man, the papers are adorable. And it's in fantastic condition. Like the outside looks a bit ragged, but the inside paper is perfect. So $2, bargain basement. So there's all the little designs on the back there, and the company, it's a Korean company called Freebox. LycoArt.co. But I don't know who this is. Does anyone know who this character is? Because I've never seen it. Maybe it's a Korean character, because I know more of the Japanese ones, but I've not seen this little guy. But it's totally adorable. Was totally down for that. And I did hit a little bit of a Beatrix Potter. There was so many cool Beatrix Potter books there. There was the entire set of little books, and I sat there for ages with them in my hands because I was like, oh, do I buy it? Do I not? Even though I have the huge compilations with all their stuff in it, I like the idea of having the little tiny books separate, especially if my kids have grandkids. I actually regret the idea now. I regret not purchasing it. It was $20 for the whole set. They were in pristine condition. They were beautiful. I also put back a whole complete works and poems of Winnie the Pooh, which was also in pristine condition because it was $20 and I was trying to behave. I knew that the girls and I were going to another shop where we would spend a bit of money. So I kind of put those big ticket items back because I had these in my cart and I was like, oh, I don't want to give up the Potter books. So this one was $6 and this one was Stay in its whole form. So this is the Naughty Rabbit, Beatrix Potter and Peter Rabbit. And I love that there's a little sticker in there. And this is more of a like history book. I think I've tried finding this one before online. It's quite hard to get. So I'm pretty sure I don't have this in my collection. Actually, no, I am. I'm sure I haven't because I've seen this cover, but I've never been able to get the book. So that was a nice, it's got the sketches in there, which I love looking at the sketches and photographs and the history. And there's probably a lot of this already in some of my other books of her because I have quite an extensive collection of Peter Rabbit and Beatrix Potter books because they are one of my collections that I just love and adore. But I couldn't say no to this little one. Let's see, does it have anything? Sometimes they have a nice little gold bunny on there, but not today. So I did grab that one for $6. It's in relatively good condition. It has been, it's, you know, worn around the edges and stuff, but that to me is very much character and I love that. And I did pick up these two as well. And I think that these will be, probably this one maybe will be more so collage fodder because I have a lot of these already. This one was $3. This is just the Beatrix Potter Treasury. And this has just got all the little stories and all the little pictures and things. So I've got this one even though I have all the things because I was looking at all the imagery in there and I just I just loved it. This has got a little bit of her information in the front as well. Again, this is one of the ones I have seen in Book Depository but never bought because I bought the really big one that you've seen. Is it the... Yeah, the really big blue one. Actually, I'll go grab it so I can show you. Hold on. Whoop. Okay, I've gotten all of my Beatrix Potter books out. This has almost turned into a collection video. So I have Beatrix Potter, Artist, Storyteller, and Countrywoman. And this is all about her history and just all the stuff that I really love. There's a lot of the sketches in here as well, all about her family life, all that sort of thing. A lot of the images are repeated in the books, but I don't care. I don't care. I love the picture of her holding Peter. But I just... This one I picked up off eBay because I couldn't find it anywhere else. It is secondhand. It's not in the best condition, but I love it. So there was that one there. And this was the big one that I bought, the Complete Tales. So this is the really lovely edition that I purchased. So I have that one. That's why I wasn't too fussed with buying these and using these as journal fodder, which I know may make some people cry, but I want to have some of her work in my journals. So this one was a enabled purchase by the lovely Sandra, and this is Beatrix Potter's art, and so it's all her paintings and all her drawings and just really big, beautiful illustrations that you don't really normally see in some of her books. And some of her, she has so much artwork that she's done besides the Peter Rabbit books that didn't get a lot of airtime, and it's just so inspiring. It just made me love her all the much more. I love everything about her. And the Miss Potter movie is obviously my very, very favorite. But this one was also, I had to purchase online because I could not find a copy of it new. I think it's out of print, but you can probably find secondhand versions around the web if you're really interested. Then I have Beatrix Potter, A Life in Nature, and this is a big chunky book that I haven't actually had the time to sit down and read yet. I've sort of flicked through it. I need to do so much reading over the Christmas period when I take a little bit of a break for Christmas. Then I've got Beatrix Potter's Gardening Life, the plants and places that inspired the classic children's tales. And I just loved all the images of plants and things and just knowing all the back history. This one was a beautiful find. I've been flicking through this one a lot. This one is on my bed head. I have a collection of books on my bed head that I look through over nighttime when I want to be inspired, or in the morning when I'm trying to get myself up in the morning. So there's that one. Then I have The Art of Beatrix Potter. This one was beautifully gifted to me by the lovely Christina. I love that girl so much. She accidentally bought two and then sent me her second copy. And it is by far one of my absolute favorite books. It's got all I've read quite a chunk of this book. I read it in stints because it's not very wordy. But I really enjoy reading all about it. Just beautiful. It is just beautiful. This is my favorite one, and I flick through this one very, very often. So I'm super grateful for the darling Christina for gifting this to me. It was on my wish list for Christmas last year, and it never came. But I love it so much. This one, if you're going to buy any of them, this one would be the one I recommend. And then I just got a celebration of Beatrix Potter, and so these are like her stories and things that are created by other artists, like their renditions of things. And I just thought that was so darling to see how other artists have been inspired and have grown with the Beatrix Potter books. I've talked about many of these books before, but since I'm showing you the ones that I already own. And then this is the artist and her work, and this one was the gallery stuff. This was really hard to track down, and it has all the book plates and things. And this one was very hard to find, but I loved all the back history and stuff. And I found this one on eBay, I think, from memory. I've tracked a lot of the older ones down on eBay. So there is that one. So that's all her work between these dates. And that's all my Beatrix Potter books, so that's enough of that. And let me just move all these off and show you the two that I grabbed, and I'll show you why I picked them and so I could use them for journal fodder. Okay, so because I already have all of the stories in that big beautiful compilation, I don't feel bad in using some of these images for my journal. I love the fox images. I thought of Boo and making her a card with maybe the fox and all those sorts of things. So I love the Flopsy, Mopsy and Cottontail. I have them on my little bowl and plate that I have. So this one's got quite beautiful little prints. I think I like the other one better. I think I like the imagery better. And this one is the Complete Adventures of Peter Rabbit. So there are bigger pictures in this one, which I think I loved a lot more. So some of the images are the same, but they're larger. And I wanted to just use some of these beautiful pictures in a journal. I am considering making a junk journal, a Beatrix Potter junk journal. And so I'm sort of collecting bits and pieces of fodder to go in there and have that themed around that. But this one was $2, this large one. And again, there's no gold bunny on the bookend, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. But I do love how much bigger these images were. Obviously the book's a little bit larger, but I think they all have their own merits, and I think they will be used as journal fodder with no issue at all. And they didn't cost me very much. Between the two, these two cost me $5 for the two. So I think that's pretty reasonable for something that's got quite a lot of journal fodder. And I would be tempted to even, if I was to use this book as journal fodder, I'd be tempted to rebind this as an actual journal because it's a really good size, and I actually really love the cover with the cover art and things. So that would probably be second life as a journal. And the last sort of weird purchase that I picked up, going back to my op shop finds, were these like archival things that have little segments and stuff. So this one here is like a coin saver, or I think it's for photo negatives, and they're little square pockets. Now the reason why I picked this one up specifically, because this was $5, and I think there are a stack of them in here. The packaging is super old, but there's pages and pages and pages of them. But the reason why I picked them up, and I'll go grab them now to show you. So let me just grab that. Okay, so inside here are a stack of pressed pennies and coins from our trips to the US and to Disneyland. And I have a couple from Tokyo that are still in my sort of wallet and things. But this is our mini collection of all the pressed coins. And I know they have like little passports and things for them, but I liked the idea of having them sewn into my journal, and I was trying to figure out ways in which to display them. And so they fit perfectly inside here. And I thought it'd be nice to have like a little tip-ins within my journal that had them displayed where you can see both sides. I think I would chop them down so they'd be like maybe 6 to a page, and then I would sew them shut. And that way they're secure, they're not gonna fall out, and I would have to sew both lines because I'd need to either adhere some washi tape up the top, but each one would need to be closed up somehow. How do they get in? Yeah, so they go in from the top. But I wouldn't want them to fall out, so I would have to sew these shut. And I think with some really cool red thread sewing around them would be a really cool addition and sort of interactive element to a journal. Now, I don't know if I'm probably allowed to say, I don't know. I am getting a junk journal made by someone, and it will be Disney themed. And that's because I want to document our Disney trips in an actual Disney themed journal. And so I'm collecting bits and pieces of ephemera for her and I, because she's also making herself one at the same time. And so I'm not mentioning who's making it for me because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to or not, but someone is making me a Disney themed junk journal, and it's going to be amazeballs. So I have been collecting bits and pieces for that, and I'm going to be sending her a package of like papers and things and some ephemera that I've collected that is Disney themed for both of our journals, because I'm super grateful that she's even doing this for me. But I wanted to find some elements that I could include in that junk journal that would be really cool. And I thought some of these may, like the one that says, if you dream it, you can do it. It has a little castle. I'm actually going to see if I can pierce a hole through this with my crocodile and have this as like a charm that I have dangled off the side. Because I think I have 2 of these ones, because I know Boo liked some of them and I like some of them. So we got 2 done, because kids these days want their own thing and I'm a pain in the butt too. So sometimes I want my own. And there's like the little house from Up with the balloons, which is another one of my favorites. So I wanted to have a couple that were dangling off the side. And so I'm going to see if I can do that. But I also wanted to have them within my journal. So I will be journaling our Disney trips as we take them in our lifetime in this journal. Because I will journal them separately in my normal journals and stuff, and in my Japan journal and things like that, and in my US journal, but I also wanted to have journaling that was specifically themed to Disney and to document our trips as a family or as a couple in one place. So I approached a person that makes junk journals, and she just so happened to be making one for herself. And she said she would be very honored to make me one too. And obviously I'll pay her. And then I said, look, I've got some ephemera. Why don't I send you some? And then you could use it in both the journals as my way of saying thank you. So I probably will send her some of these. I just think they'll be really cool as little trinket windows. So I grabbed the ones that were just for the archival squares. This one cost me $5, but there's a stack of them in there, so they can be cut down to any size, and I can see me making almost like a photo booth wall as well out of them. Ideas are endless. Then I picked up some that were slightly larger. So these are less, these go in the side. So these are long ones from what I can see. Yeah. So these are more for negatives, but I think you could do something very cool with those. So I've got 2 of those. They're 25 in each. They don't feel as nice as the other ones, but these pack of 25 were $2 each. And so you can see they're long squares. So that would be really cool for also having like swatches and stuff. Actually, that's a really good idea. Having a swatch book that had swatches slipped into these so you could see them. Oh, I might do a video on that later. That's what I'm going to put those in, because they are obscure sizes. But the other one that I got that was also $5 were huge square ones. So these are 4x5 for negative preserves. Let me try and open it. These, I think one of these cost a fortune from what I saw. Contact prints on 8x10 paper without removing the negatives. I don't know. But they cost a mint. There was one pack, can't remember which pack had it. There were more that I left behind because I didn't buy them all, because I didn't want to be that one person that took them all. But I was also thinking about Sam and Sian, but they weren't interested. So I'm totally gonna just go rogue and make something amazing, and then everyone's gonna be interested. Let me get my scissors so I can open this up, because this is really heavy duty plastic. All right, so these are probably hard to see, but they are large squares. So there's 4 to each page. And so you can see there, they are also a little bit flimsier than the little square ones, but I think they're nice and thin. I mean, I would probably just take off the top that says preserving stuff or whatever that random thing is. But you could just, I feel like these are so cute. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with them. They're sort of like Project Life things, but not as cool. But they're super thin, so you could add some really cool stuff to these and sew them up and put them in your journals. I'm gonna find a use for them, but I thought I couldn't leave them. They made my brain tick, and when things make my brain tick, I'm like, I need to make these happen. Like those long ones are gonna be the best swatches. Everyone's gonna want old school archival things when I'm done. But I think the main one that I love were these little square ones. They feel really sturdy, and I think they're going to be really, really cool when I add them to my journal. I will send the girl some too, in case she wants to add some to her journals. I don't know if she's that kind of girl. But that is the things that I picked up at my local thrift store. I thought it'd be a cute little quick sort of show and tell video for all the levels to have a little chat, have a little look, in kind of like a Beatrix Potter collection video. I love Beatrix Potter. She is by far one of my very most influential women, and I just adore everything that she stood for, everything that she did beyond Peter Rabbit, the person, the woman she was. She was just a total pioneer and one of my favorite artists. And the way that they portrayed her in Miss Potter just made me fall in love with her all over again. I was already a fan of her, and then that movie just set my soul alight. I love that movie. I feel like I'm gonna sit down and do some journaling with that on. That's how much I love it. Now I need to go and get going and start working on my Grateful Heart prompts, but I thought I'd just give you a little look-see into what I picked up at the thrift store and where my brain goes when I'm looking at things. Those archival things were a whim purchase, but I think they're going to be really cool, and I can't wait to sort of add their little trinkets and stuff to them. Lily's been hoarding these. I had to go get them out of her room. She thinks they're all hers, but I want to actually put them somewhere where they can be, you know, treasured. I did think about displaying them, but I think in my journals will be enough of a display. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that quick little flick through my Beatrix Potter collection and the sort of bits and bobs. And if I do make my Beatrix Potter junk journal, I'll be sure to film the making of it. I do need, there's a lot more stuff I want to collect or make or do before I even start thinking about it. So don't expect it anytime soon, but it's in the process of my to-do list. Not enough time and too many things that I want to do. So have a wonderful day, Inkies, and I'll see you again soon.